Well, I feared this would happen in the last episode. The wheels did well and truly come off. We've only got 4 points from our last 6 Premier League games. However, we go into the final 2 games of the season with European qualifications still in our own hands. But it's going to be a tall order. Hello and welcome to Club 4 Part 29 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have our final 2 games of the Premier League season. We're away against Wolves and at home against Arsenal. Since you were last with me, this is that hideous form I was just talking about. It's just been dirty and horrible and disgusting. But everyone else is doing the same thing. So this is what the Premier League table looks like. See, I can see Wolves this year. I can see they've played the same amount of games as us. So I'm not going to make that mistake again. But what I do see is that Wolves are only 1 point ahead of us. We're level on points with Southampton, but with a far superior goal difference. Tottenham, Bournemouth, Arsenal, they're kind of out of the equation at this point. We've just got to make sure we win more games than Southampton or Wolves do out of these final 2 games. The first one, we are against Wolves, and then we're against Arsenal. But a win against Wolves now, when we're pretty much in Europe. That's the crazy situation we've got ourselves into. And also, Mitrovic still top scorer in the Premier League, so he's got the chance to wrap that up for the second year running as well, which, let's face it, is going to be his last opportunity to do it. Next year, Liam Thorne's going to be a year older. Garces is going to be here as well. Mitrovic is going to be lucky to get a game. But let's get out there and try and beat Wolves. If we can beat Wolves, then we're all but there. So we're going with Lopez in goal, a back four of Bell, Schuster, Kubik and Sessegnon, with Toussaint as our holding midfielder, Ceballos and Horta, the rest of the midfield. A front three of Mirabella, Mitrovic and Hall. It is the strongest team we could have available to us. Let's hope that it's strong enough because, like I say, form's been a bit ropey. But we did make a bit of a comeback over the last 2 games, a draw and a win. So not disastrous form if we only look at the last 2 games. And of those 5 in a row that we lost, we were playing Man United, Bayern Munich, Arsenal, whoever else, Huddersfield. But there were some other teams in there too. We just got to do it. We can potentially I don't want to expect to win. Oh, we've got the opportunity to avenge last time. Obviously, if the opportunity is there to avenge last time, that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's call ourselves favourites because why not? And just cross fingers, cross everything. A little bit of transfer news. Obviously, we'll do the bulk of the transfer stuff in tomorrow's season review transfer special episode. But Pineda, this is going to be the last you see of him in this episode. His contract with Porto expires this summer. We did try and sign him permanently, finally, after 3 years of loans. He agreed a contract to come in on a free transfer, but then didn't get a work permit. We appealed. He still didn't get a work permit. So at age 30, and having played pretty regularly for us for the last 3 years, because he's not playing regularly enough for Mexico anymore, he won't get a work permit, so we won't be able to bring Pineda in. So we're definitely going to need a new backup midfield player. And Wolves have scored, and it's a non-league to legend veteran from previous years, Nabil Touazi, who scores. He was brilliant. Was it last year he was brilliant for us? Possibly, was it when we were at Portsmouth, or was it whoever we were at before Portsmouth last year? Kubik as well, our wonder kid centre-back, basically setting it up on a plate for him makes it all the more sickening. And we have a lot to do. As it stands right now, we're down in 8th place. 8th is not good enough. We've got to play Arsenal yet as well, and we'll be a point behind Southampton. We've got to at least draw this game against Wolves, but really, we want the win. Kubik, can he make up for his error that led to the Wolves goal? Finds Toussaint, back to Kubik again. We're heading in the wrong direction, but there's Schuster to Bell. Schuster plays it forward towards Hall. Hall nods it across to Mirabella. Mirabella's there and equalises. It's his 15th goal of the season. It's 1-1 on the 33-minute mark, and that should put us back up above Southampton again at the very least. Obviously, it's not going to put us up against Wolves because they're not losing yet because we're drawing with them. We need to beat Wolves. I don't know if I've mentioned that already. Beating Wolves is the goal. What is Mirabella doing there? He's loving the fact he's just scored a goal. But that's the league situation now. So back level on points with Southampton again, still 1 point behind Wolves. There's Mirabella again, and he's scored again. 2 goals in 3 minutes from Vincenzo Mirabella. It's his 16th of the season now, and as it stands, we're up to 6th in the Premier League with a game to go. Well, a game and a half to go. But if both matches end like this, we're we're close. We'd still need a result against Arsenal to be absolutely sure, but we'd definitely be keeping it all in our own hands. Obviously, last season's 7th place finish was an all-time record high for Fulham as well. So a 6th place finish is even better. That's improvement again. Improvement is good. Mitrovic, back to Mirabella. Can he find his hat-trick today? Horta, across to Toussaint. We look like us again. After some terrible form recently, we're actually playing like my Fulham again. And that's what I want to see. We've got 62% possession. We're creating lots of chances. We look like a very good team all of a sudden. Why haven't we been... If we'd been doing this for the last 6 matches, we'd be challenging for a Champions League spot. Right, let's... We still want to do the whole avenging thing. There you go. Don't let performances drop. That's almost as good as avenging. Mirabella's not very happy about that. I mean, I can understand that. I perhaps should have given him an individual pat on the head. But then at the same time, he shouldn't let his performance drop either. Just because his performance has been very good doesn't mean he can let it drop. Sessegnon now on the right-hand side drills the crossover, but there's no one there to get on the end of it, and Wolves are on the break here, and we need to be alert to it. Schuster nods clear, but only as far as Twazi, and Wolves are building again down this right-hand side. Cross comes in. He shouldn't have had the opportunity to take that touch and control it, but luckily we have got away with it, and it's with Lopez, who just needs to take the sting out of play a little bit. Instead, he lumps it forward towards Hall, which is absolutely contradictory to the instructions that man has been given, and it's put us straight back under pressure again. Cross comes in. We're desperately trying to get it clear, and I put all of the blame for that on Lopez, because his instruction for distribution is to distribute it to our centre-backs, so to their feet, so that we can build from the back. We are not built for having the ball lumped forward at our front three, and it just came straight back. It was so counterproductive. Let our defenders and our midfield have a little bit of time on the ball. Urgh, so frustrating when we just combust like this. Horta couldn't get hold of it, and Wolves are putting us under so much pressure at the moment. We need to show some passion. Come on, lads. Do we want to be in Europe or not? Goodness me. We're still controlling possession, but Wolves have really come out at the start of this first half like they mean business. Lopez punches clear this time. What's punching? Why are you punching? Just catch the football. You can use your hands. You don't have to swing them around like fists. Just catch the ball, you numbskull. Mitrovic, back to Sessegnon. Horta, we need a goal here to calm me down. Ceballos, Bell's got room to cross. He gets the crossover. I think that was off a Wolves' head. It was Hall who was challenging for it, but I'm pretty sure that was a Wolves player it came off, but we didn't get a corner for it. And now Wolves with a free kick. Kubik heads clear, but not very clear. And another non-league to legend veteran of our Arsenal team last year, I think we had Malang Sarr, and we're now 3-2 down on the hour mark. We were in control at half-time and looking good. I specifically said, don't let your performances drop. What have they done? They've let their performances drop. Wolves have got up 2 gears, and we look like we're not bothered anymore. I'm tempted to take off Mitrovic because he's not turned up at all today. Toussaint to Horta. Sessegnon, I want another goal here, or Mitrovic is coming off. Ceballos out to Bell, who again has got time to pick his cross. And it's nowhere near a Fulham player, but Horta does brilliantly. That was like what's been happening to us, but in reverse. Wolves didn't get the ball clear. It fell to Horta, and he wants to play in Europe next year. Bell, though, you got to look for more from that cross. Mitrovic just doesn't seem up for it at all today. I think I'm going to take Mitrovic off. I hope I've got Liam Thorne on the bench. I know he's been struggling a little bit for fitness recently. We haven't got Liam Thorne on the bench. I don't want to bring on Ibuka. I could potentially put Lucas Moura up front. Don't really want to have to. There is Mitrovic, though, and it's just wide. Ooh, very, very close to just tucking that away. Ceballos is injured as well. I do see him, but he's only here on loan. He's got to play another game in a bit. If we break him now, it doesn't really matter. Pineda can come on there. We'll bring on Lucas Moura for Mitrovic. Just Mitrovic hasn't showed up, and Lucas Moura does weigh in with some important goals from time to time. But I've got a feeling we might not do this today. A draw is not a terrible result. It still leaves us in 7th place going into the final day, which is still a European qualification position. But I'm looking at this as if there's another substitution to make, and I don't think there is. We're just going to leave it as it is and have a look at the league table. So Southampton have dropped down below Tottenham. Arsenal are on 51 points. So as it... that's a disaster. That's a big, fat, smelly disaster. We're still in 7th place as it stands because Southampton are also bottling it. However, what that does is leaves Arsenal knowing that a win against us will put them level on points with us. I don't know how they are for goal difference, but almost level. So Arsenal will now go into the final game of the season against us knowing that if they beat us, they go above us, which could then lead them to really do a backdoor European qualification. If you're in 10th place going into the last day, you shouldn't be allowed to have the opportunity to qualify. But we've bottled it here. Wolves have done us. We've bottled it. And now we need to... we just need to beat Arsenal. But we already showed in yesterday's episode, when it comes to big games against Arsenal, we don't seem to have it. Right. I am far from pleased with what I just saw. That was rubbish. We've got to do better against Arsenal, or we have a Europa League free season, which I know that's not actually a disaster if that happens, because it means we can really focus on the league. But I don't want to take a step back. We're a European team now. We want to stay that way. Just one change for the final game of the season against Arsenal. Then mainly because I feel like I need to change something. Wendell comes in for Bell at left back. If you need more logic, then I feel like I should change something. Maybe he'll score a free kick like he did on the first day of the season when he got those 2 free kicks. But I'm not going into this feeling particularly confident at all. I think we are feeling the effects of having a small squad and playing a lot of games this season. So let's passionately say, yeah, go and give the fans one last performance. We're all spent. Yes, Pineda's playing his final game for us if he comes on, but he'll definitely be leaving. We talked about that during the last match. And we just need to try and backdoor Kev this now. We're at the head of a pack of games of clubs that does include Arsenal. If we win, we're definitely in Europe. Similar situation to how it was in the Wolves game. A win and we finish 7th, and that's a European qualification spot because of where the cups have ended up. If we lose... if we lose, Arsenal leapfrog us. So, yeah, it's basically a Europa League playoff that Arsenal aren't necessarily in Europe if they win because Southampton or Tottenham could jump up. But if we win, we're in Europe. If we lose, we finish below Arsenal. So, let's hope we can find a win from somewhere then. But I just don't know if any of them have got enough left in the tank. We need some new faces in the summer. Don't necessarily need a whole load of players to come in and add to this first team. I think we've got the bulk of a good squad. We've got a lot of talented young players, but we don't have enough players. And as much as I tried to rotate as the season went on, there's some players in this team who've played a lot of games this season, and they just all seem a little bit broken at this stage. Let's keep the passion going. Come on, performance to cheer for. That's what we're looking for. Unbelievably, as it stands right now, we're still in 7th place. Imagine if we 0-0 our way into a European qualification spot. If that happens, that would mean for our final 8 games of the season, we'd have only won 1 of them and only got 5 points in 8 games and still somehow found a way to finish 7th, which would be insane. Mirabella now. No, just nothing. Nothing at all left. Mirabella, cross to Toussaint. Ceballos, probably his final game for us as well, unless we can bring him back on loan again. Ceballos, it's well over. I don't know that he's impressed enough this season for me to warrant going out and spending a lot of money on him. Similar to with Pineda, though, I'd bring him back on loan for the next 2 years, but I'm not going to go out and spend 30 or 40 million pounds on him. It's a similar situation again to Bakayoko last summer. I would have happily had Bakayoko back, but the £30 million Barcelona wanted for him wasn't willing to pay at all. And we are now down to 8th. Southampton have gone ahead in their game against Everton. So now we know we have to win. We have to score if we're going to get in Europe for next season. Liam Thorne is coming on. We're going to bring Pineda on for his final game. And we're also going to bring on Franco potentially for his final game as well, ahead of Lucas Moura. We're doing a triple. We need to show some passion. And we need Liam Thorne to make himself a hero again. Sessegnon, Cross comes in. Mirabella's there. And it's his 17th goal of the season now. And we are 1-0 up on 75 minutes. We've got 15 minutes to hold on. If we hold on for the next 15 minutes and don't concede a goal, we will be playing in the Europa League next season, I think. I mean, I'm never completely certain. But looking at the league table, there's nobody with games in hand this year. So we just need to not mess up from here. And I know there's people there screaming, Kev, go to counter-attacking. No, we know that doesn't work for us. We just stick as we are. Mirabella's in again. I thought he'd scored a second time. Mirabella is too good for us, I think. But just nobody tell him, and hopefully he won't figure it out. Once we need the likes of Kubik and Bell and Thorne to catch up with him ability-wise, and then we're going to have a proper good team. Horta now, bursting through, falls only as far as Pineda. Liam Thorne, and it's straight at the keeper. Come on, he scored a goal voice there. Does this game not know how commentary works? The ball is loose again in the Arsenal half. They've got a minute and a half to ruin our season. They've already spoilt our fun yesterday. If they spoil our fun again today, I'm going to... Oh, why I order. We've now got 45 seconds left to cling on to the final Europa League qualification spot. Just please don't be cruel to me now, Football Manager, or else I don't know what I'll do. Schuster heads clear, but only as far as an Arsenal shirt. They're in. Lopez makes a fingertip save. We have now played all of the time added on. If they score here, it's disgusting. It's headed out, and I think that's it. I think we've managed to cling on to the final Europa League qualification spot. We've certainly won the match. Let's keep the passion going. That was really special, lads. It would have been nice to do that in the FA Cup semi-final as well, but, you know, can't have everything. And let's just wait and see. Are we getting a European qualification spot rubber stamped? I think we should... Oh, no. Yes! There. Fulham qualify for the Europa League. We've done it for the second year in a row. Chelsea have won the Premier League. And we've been given monies. And we're giving monies out. We don't have budgets yet, so we'll find out what the budgets are on tomorrow's season review and transfers episode. But the big headline for us all to take away from today is, by the skin of our teeth, we've made it into Europe for the second year running. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.